At 10 p.m., it's lights out in the school dormitories, and the bathrooms are off limits. As the dormitory prefect, Awang is responsible for ensuring that every male student is in their room by this time. So, he patrols between the dorms and the bathrooms. But even though it's well past lights out, there are still some students who sneak off to the showers. Hey, Awang wouldn't miss this chance to discipline those breaking the rules. If he catches someone in the act, he wastes no time in apprehending them. Thanks to the handsome Malaysian lad, Awang, for sharing this horror story. In many rural areas of Malaysia, only primary schools are available, so students must travel to cities for secondary education. Consequently, many secondary schools provide dormitories for students who live far away. Awang happens to be one of those students residing in the school dormitories. Schools are often hotbeds for eerie tales, and having lived in the dormitories for 5 years, Awang certainly has no shortage of horror stories to share. Today, I'll share with you the most terrifying paranormal experience Awang encountered during his time at school, an incident that landed him in the hospital. Staying in school dormitories, as the name suggests, means residing within the school premises, typically indicating a sizable institution. The dormitories are divided into male and female sections, each overseen by a resident dormitory administrator, usually teachers from out of town. Their role involves managing the day-to-day operations of the dormitories, but due to their teaching responsibilities, they may occasionally face overwhelming tasks. To alleviate this burden, they appoint responsible students as dormitory prefects to assist in managing the dormitories. Awang happens to be one of these fortunate students chosen as a dormitory prefect. His duties primarily involve patrolling during lights-out hours, ensuring no students are outside their rooms and that the bathrooms are vacant, a task not overly challenging. As night falls, there are typically only 3 adults present on the school grounds: the dormitory administrators for the male and female dormitories, and the campus security guard responsible for patrolling the entire premises to ensure safety. One evening, as the clock struck 10, signaling lights out, Awang went about his usual routine of taking attendance for the male students in the dormitory before embarking on his final patrol to the boys' bathroom. In the dim light cast by his flashlight, Awang approached the vicinity of the bathroom. Suddenly, he heard the sound of running water emanating from within, prompting him to wonder. Hadn't everyone been present during attendance just moments ago? Why would someone be using the bathroom now? As he drew closer to the bathroom, a figure darted out from the doorway. Without hesitation, Awang gave chase. The school was illuminated by only a few sparse lights at night, rendering the environment exceptionally dim. Awang relied on his flashlight to discern the direction as he pursued the fleeting figure. Reaching the fence at the back of the school, Awang watched as the fleeing figure agilely vaulted over the barrier and disappeared into the forest, leaving him standing halted at the fence. Awang surmised that the person's ability to overcome the fence indicated they were no novice to rule-breaking. Feeling frustrated at his inability to catch the individual, Awang returned to the bathroom, his mind clouded with annoyance. Upon switching on the lights, he noticed faint traces of blood on the sink, a telltale sign that the fleeing person had washed around there. So, they were injured after all. At that moment, a mischievous thought bubbled up in Awang's mind. He wondered if the fleeing person might return to the bathroom to tend to their wound once more. With a sly grin spreading across his lips, Awang switched off the lights and hid in the space beneath the sink, preparing to startle the person upon their return. Little did he know, this thought would be the gravest mistake of his life. Sure enough, before long, the door to the bathroom creaked open quietly and a figure entered. Everything unfolded just as Awang had anticipated. The person had indeed returned to clean their wound once more. The person stood at the sink, turning on the tap with a gushing sound indicating they were washing something. Mischievous Awang, positioned beneath them, could only see their feet. In a bid to startle them, Awang swiftly reached out and grabbed their foot, shouting, "You can't escape this time," as he emerged from beneath the sink. However, when Awang shone his flashlight to get a clear view of the person, his heart nearly stopped. He couldn't see the person's face, or rather, he couldn't see their head because it wasn't on their neck. Instead, the person was holding their own head in their hands, and what they were washing was their severed head. In the next moment, Awang blacked out. After a considerable time had passed with no sign of Awang returning to his room, both the dormitory administrators and the campus security guard searched the school grounds for him. Eventually, it was the security guard who discovered him unconscious in the bathroom, and he was promptly rushed to the hospital. Later, Awang recounted the terrifying paranormal encounter to school officials. However, the school authorities strictly forbade him from spreading such nonsense, as they found no traces of blood or any decapitated person in the bathroom. Moreover, if word of this eerie incident were to spread, it would surely cause a major uproar. Therefore, the school authorities issued a severe warning to Awang, instructing him to remain silent about the matter. There was a young boy who liked to secretly ride his father's motorbike around, but his mother didn't approve. Apart from safety concerns, she suffered from a cleanliness obsession and disliked her son getting dirty every time he rode. Whenever the boy got dirty, his mother would scold him and even resort to physical punishment. As boys tend to rebel, the more his mother restricted him, the more defiant he became. One night, he sneaked out again to ride his father's motorbike, and an accident occurred near a nearby high school. A car, unaware of the boy driving in the wrong direction, hit him at high speed, sending him and the bike flying. The impact was immense, and the boy died instantly. His head and body separated, blood spattered everywhere. Because his mother disliked dirtiness, to avoid being scolded or hit by her again, even after his death, the boy's soul still picked up his head and went to the nearby high school to wash, just to clean off the bloodstains on his head and body to avoid being scolded by his mother again. If you enjoy my channel, please help by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you next time.